Let me tell you an old story that happened a long time ago. But first, think about what's the funniest way you've outsmarted a teacher? Comment, please. From the first day of junior year at Monterey Hills High, it was clear that Mr. Bellamy, the advanced art teacher, had a problem with Isaac Rivera. Maybe it was Isaac's quiet attitude, or the way he doodled in the margins instead of sketching like everyone else. But whatever it was, Bellamy made sure to put him under the microscope. Mr. Rivera, he'd announce every time Isaac walked in, here to actually produce something this week? The class would fall into that uncomfortable silence while Isaac kept his head down, cheeks burning. It was a routine by now. The worst part, Isaac loved art, just not in that class. Then came the final project, create a mixed media sculpture representing transformation. It was worth 40% of the grade. Bellamy handed out the project briefs, pausing at Isaac's desk just long enough to say, "Let's try not to waste materials this time." Isaac's family didn't have a lot of extra money lying around. While other students were already ordering specialty clays and resin kits, Isaac asked if there were any approved alternatives. Bellamy didn't even look up. "Perhaps you should have thought about that before signing up for an advanced level class." That night, Isaac vented to his uncle, a retired stage designer who used to build sets for community theater. "So you need to build something that transforms?" he asked with a grin. "Give me an hour." Over the next 2 weeks, while his classmates worked with epoxy and 3D printers, Isaac and his uncle scavenged cardboard, broken electronics, and scrap fabric from behind hardware stores. In the garage, they built a kinetic sculpture, a giant human silhouette that unfolded panel by panel into a pair of wings. The internal mechanism? All repurposed theater rigging, cut to size and reinforced with zip ties. The day of the presentations, Bellamy strutted around as usual, nodding approvingly at the clean, expensive-looking projects. When it was Isaac's turn, he walked in with a dolly carrying what looked like a messy stack of boxes covered in brown paper. "Mr. Rivera," Bellamy sighed, "please tell me this is not your final piece." Isaac didn't respond. He just pressed a button. The sculpture came to life. Panels lifted, sections twisted open, and within seconds the pile of boxes became a towering abstract phoenix with outstretched wings. Light filtered through translucent plastic in the feathers, casting colored shadows across the classroom walls. The room fell silent. Isaac pointed out the movable joints, the symbolic layering of textures, and how the whole thing could be reset and reused for different exhibits. The materials cost? Less than $10, all salvaged. Bellamy stared at it for several seconds. "Where did you get the design?" "We built it," Isaac said, "from scratch." Even the quiet kids in the back clapped. One student whispered, "Bro, this is next level." Bellamy tried to brush it off. "While certainly creative, I'm not sure this meets the traditional expectations for sculpture." That's when the school's arts coordinator, Ms. Davenport, who'd slipped in to observe, stepped forward. "This is incredible. Would you be interested in displaying it at the District Arts Showcase next month?" 3 weeks later, the piece won first place in the innovation category. A month after that, a local gallery invited Isaac to recreate it for a youth exhibit on sustainable art. And the best part? Mr. Bellamy had to announce in front of his entire class that Isaac's project had been selected as the district's feature piece. He handed over the certificate like it weighed 1,000 pounds. "Congratulations," he muttered. Isaac just nodded and smiled. "Thanks. Sometimes a pile of junk turns into something better than a fancy plan." Bellamy never questioned him again. And next semester, the school's art catalog featured a full-page photo of Isaac's sculpture, with his name printed at the bottom.